Scar Gaming here, and welcome back to another zoo tour. This will be the second ZooLittles zoo that I ever made. ZooLittles the Arctic. Let's go ahead and grab a staff member here. Get into Tedget Cam. And I'm stuck. Let's try that again. I'm not sure why it keeps putting me there, but okay. There we go. Let's start from over here from the beginning. Over here at the front, again, just like the other ZooLittles, this is what you would call the implied boat docks. So like the entrance to the boat docks, and like I said, it's just implied, so there's really no boat docks. I just need a good way to hide the guest spawners. So start here with this massive central area here with the polar bear statue. Kind of give you an idea of what you're going to see. I turned the snow off for now. We'll turn the snow on at the end and have a good look at what it looks like in the snow. And also, some of you may have already seen this. This was featured on one of the zoo tours on Pausley's channel. So if you haven't seen that, definitely go check that one out. Over here on the right, we got some of our first staff facilities. This is a Keeper's Hut, Workshop, Trade Center, and Staff Center, I think, is here in the back. Staff Lounge. Went with the log cabin with the green roof, just like you see in the Lincoln Logs. And same with the other side. We have quarantine, vet, Keeper's Hut. Two Keeper's Hut, actually. Actually, no, just one Keeper's Hut and a staff facility, and this will enter into the Arctic wolves. The other side enters into the doll sheep. But these are the completely custom log cabins that I built. As you can see, we really need these in the game. We have the normal log walls. We need the horizontal log walls as well. Those would be great to have in the game instead of having to do these all custom. It's not the easiest thing to do. But this is the information center, and then we have a bathroom over here to the side. It's exactly the same, just copied over onto the other side. Right over here on the other side, it's just the same thing. Just copied over. I wanted to give the illusion of a little bit of symmetry in the zoo. One thing you'll notice is it's a little bit... Everything's really compact in the zoo, especially with the polar bears. The polar bears are, as everyone already knows, is well, they're a pain in the bum, that's for sure. There was no way I was going to get the polar bears to be 100% happy with the room they have in their exhibit or their habitat. Not in this. This would probably their enclosure would probably require this entire map to make them happy. Let's go ahead and come in here into the main building. I mentioned in one of my previous zoo tours that a little piece of advice to people that want to use this map is make sure you don't build your entrances too big, and that's one of the things I did with this zoo is made the entrances a little bit too big. But it's nice though. Got all our shops. And then over here we have the entrance to the train. Come here and buy your tickets. Of course it's implied, but buy your tickets, come up to the train. And the train in this zoo is not really meant to be a transport ride as much as it's really supposed to be a unique way to get a look at the zoo. We will take a ride on this at the very end, but as you can see, it goes all the way around the zoo. Plus you got a good view, a perfect view of the polar bears. But like I said, it goes all the way around. So you pretty much get a good look at all the animals, maybe not so much as the Arctic wolves and the doll sheep, but you get a pretty good view. Alright, come down the exit. Got a staff facility over here, and we got our bathrooms over here. I really wanted the open feel. I wanted it to be a little cozy. I thought about putting a fireplace in, but I didn't think about that until after I was done. Also, something I've been meaning to do in all my zoos is a little bit of Wall of Fame. These two are people that I found on the workshop. Of course, Ricey for the font. And CheshireKatt is one of the hard shelters that I found on the workshop to use. I'm not very good at building hard shelters, at least at this point I wasn't. So I come up to the top here and we have a little bit of a balcony area. You don't really get any good views from up here. You get some small views. But I wasn't really going for the view. I was just really going for a higher up place for people to sit and eat. But you do get a good view of the doll sheep wherever they're at. Come back around. And I'm stuck. Alright, let's try this again. We will start from this side. We'll check out the doll sheep first, and we'll swing around, and Arctic wolves will be one of the last things we look at. So, first animal we come to is the doll sheep habitat. Simple, not too crazy. I didn't want to go overboard with the foliage on this one. Try to mess with the terrain a little bit. Again, it's not one of my strong suits, is terrain work. We might get lucky and get some of the doll sheep to come over and roam around. But yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty. It's like I said, it's nothing special. I don't think doll sheep are the most popular animals in this game, so. Also, this is one of the zoos that I had done right before I started the YouTube channel. So unfortunately, none of this is built on YouTube. I like the way this bridge, and I like the way the train goes across the path. That's one of the goals I had setting out when I started building this zoo. Come this way, we'll get to the reindeer. Very, very small habitat. In reality, they would not be happy. It's too small for them, but it works. This is a very quick hard shelter that I've thrown together. Like I said, it's nothing spectacular, but I didn't think it was necessary. Just wanted to make sure that the walls were here so the guests could not see all the way into the habitat. That way it gives them a little bit of privacy. Also, someone that I forgot to add to the Wall of Fame was timmyoops for these animal panels. These were featured in my South American ZooLittles zoo, and as you can see, I talked about the ones that were colored, and these are the ones I was talking about. Very cool. I actually think they look much better colored than they did before. You can imagine how much work that took to do this. It's incredible. Incredible work. Now we come around to the back and we'll get to the snow leopards. Funnily enough, this tree in particular right here, when they climb this tree, it tells me they escaped every time. They'll climb all the way to the top, and then they say, here we go. That is really cool. Oh, I don't know what that was. I see he actually is escaping. Every time I come over here, they never actually escaped. So, I never actually thought they could. But I think he might be stuck up there. Or he'll come back around. There it is. And the alarm should go off any minute now. There it is. Should probably fix that, huh? These animals are constantly stressed. So I decided to build this where they can go up under this area and you cannot see them, and it helps with their stress levels. Like I said, nothing too big, but it works for them. They seem to be happy in it. Like I said, you get a great view of these snow leopards when we get on the train and ride the train around the zoo. Over here we got the entrance to their habitats, and also a cool little staff area. So one thing you got to remember is to always make sure you have plenty of staff rooms and keeper sets for your keepers and your mechanics and all that stuff, because the closer they are to the habitat, the easier it is for them to take care of the animals. Alright, we come around back here, and as a matter of fact, we'll go to this last. So we're going to kind of make a detour around, and we'll talk about all this stuff here in just a second. First, I want to get to the other side here, where the Arctic wolves are. I believe this is the first habitat that I built in the zoo. I had an idea for it at the start, where I wanted this little bit of a tunnel going into the habitat, so you can kind of be surrounded by the wolves. Come and you get one hell of a view. I believe this is one of the caves that was made by CheshireKatt. I could be wrong. One of the hard shelters that I have in the zoo is made by someone from Japan, and their name, uses the Japanese alphabet, and I can't read it, so I apologize for that. But I even tried to translate it using Google, and I couldn't figure it out, so I apologize. But if that person just so happens to see this video, please drop your name into the comment section so people know who you are. What a fantastic view. With this Arctic zoo, I really wanted to go for sort of a country log style throughout the zoo. Lots of concrete, lots of white and wood. So, and like I said, this will be a quick zoo tour. Like I said, there's not much to be shown, but we'll take a ride around on the train in just a few minutes. Let's go check out the polar bears. So the polar bear habitat has been split into two sections with the walkover bridge. We have the section over here, which is mainly just some of their enrichment items. Just sleeping. Yep, they can come around, they can walk up over this bridge, get to the other side. The other side is where their water and their hard shelter is. This has a few enrichment items. The majority of their enrichment items, rather. Anytime I see the polar bears, I always think of the Coca-Cola commercials they show during the Christmas season, so. They don't like a lot of foliage either, but I went all out on the foliage. So, come around here. I said you come through and you're right up under the bridge. And this is pretty much the main part of their habitat over here. We got the feeding tray and their shelters. And then when we come this way, we'll go and get to see the underwater viewing. Once again, I don't think I actually made it to where they will be able to dive whenever that time comes. I'm sure that Frontier will add diving mechanics to the polar bears eventually. But we come down and we get a good view of the underwater viewing. Definitely not big enough. I'm assuming it's not deep enough for them to actually dive when the time comes, but that's something we can take a look at in the future. But I wanted some education boards down here that were relevant. So we got the climate change, which is something that affects the polar bears very much so. We got some more of the animal panels from Timmyoops. Simplistic. Tried to use as much of the Arctic pieces as I could. Just kind of hoping when we get down here we'll be able to see some of them swimming, but I guess we're not so lucky this time. I think it turned out pretty nice though. I think it might be one of the first underwater viewings I had ever made, and I think it came out pretty well. Nope, I don't think we're going to get so lucky. Well, here we go. See, this is awesome. This is one of the things I love so much about these walkable bridges, because at the Louisville Zoo, if I can remember correctly, we actually have a area in the zoo all about the polar bears, and they have something a little like this. It's more like a clear pipe that they can walk through to get to one side of the habitat, get from one side of the habitat to the other, and that's pretty much what inspired me to do so. Supposed to be two in there. I've only seen one. That's a keeper. I'm not sure where the other one's at. I don't see him in the cave. You know what? Let's go ahead and go back over here and see if they're in the water. Awesome, perfect. They're both in here. Check this out. Just, could you imagine when the time comes for them to dive? I mean, this is going to be awesome. Should probably put one of the enrichment items in there, one of the soccer balls or something, so they can play with that in the water. I mean, like I said, at the Louisville Zoo, that's exactly what they do. They have these big, huge soccer balls they put in the water for the polar bears to play with. It's pretty cool. It's one heck of a view, though. Can't beat it. Now that I think about it, what I should have done is turned the top part here and also into a viewing area, because that is the only place you can actually get a good look at the where the polar bears play in the water and stuff. So yeah, that's like I said, it's pretty much it. I mean, that's what these zoos are all about. These zoos are all about being you know, miniature and focusing solely on a certain type of biome or theme, not necessarily the animals. So, of course, we have animals in here that are from all over the world. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the train station here. See if we can get a ride on the train. Right now it's not running, I'm not sure why. It says it's closed. Seat camera. I'm gonna get a good look from this angle. If it'll ever run. Let's do it this way. Let's put it on test mode. Let's pause the game. Ride camera. And play. There we go. I know it's cheesy. I named it the Polar Express. And like I said, this isn't about transport. This is more about just getting a cool, unique view of the zoo. Be an awesome view of the polar bears. This is perfect. I mean, you can't beat this view. You really can't. I know several zoos around the world have training rides like this that aren't meant for transport, but are just mainly meant for the experience in the zoo in a new way, in a unique way. This is a really cool way, though. I really enjoyed doing this. The whole goal after the ZooLittles South America was to try to make some sort of at least one of the transport rides in each zoo. And I've only done that twice. So I did it with here, and then the African one. I had the African safari, which turned out terrible, but it's not easy in a small area like this to use one of the transport rides. So I know it can be done, but it's not something that's easy, at least for me. And passing the snow leopards, coming up on the reindeer. This is awesome. This is actually the first time I took a ride on the train when I built this. So, let's see, quick ride. What did that take? About a couple minutes. Nothing crazy, but still a unique view. All right. Now let's go ahead and get an overlook of the zoo from above, and we will turn the snow on so everybody get a good idea of what it looks like. Whoop, it's the wrong one. All right, the snow will start here in a few minutes. So, as of right now, this would definitely be my third favorite of all the zoos that I've made. I really wished I would have went smaller on the entrance here. Maybe move this stuff back a little bit. Maybe not make this, so big. Despite the fact that we have, welfare turned off and all that other stuff, I really like to have a little bit of just a little bit of realism to the game about the staff facilities and stuff. So I try to make sure I have a staff facility, either one in the middle that covers everything, or one's in the corners, or at least one on each side. And it's kind of how I set up my work zones. Here we are. The snow is beautiful in this game, for sure. But yeah, the not much inspiration on the zoo. I really get inspired by other people's work, of course. Other people make such beautiful things. Sometimes I like to try to incorporate that into the things that I build. Of course, people may see some things in here that they've seen before. And, I don't really try to recreate anything, but I like to take, like I've seen somebody make these interesting shelters here, like little umbrellas out of the wood and stuff. And I decided to make them my own, style out of it. It came out pretty nice. But we all take inspiration from others. There's nothing wrong with that at all. There you go, Winter Wonderland. Looks really nice. Yeah, that'll do it for this one. Like I said, a really quick tour. Nothing special. I hope I'm getting a little bit better at this commentary thing. I don't feel like I am, but hopefully you'll let me know in the comment section down below. Like the video. Consider subscribing if you would like to see more. There will be more tours eventually. I'll get to the African one soon. I appreciate you guys stopping by. And like I said before, I do have a Discord channel. It's a small one, and if you feel up to it, consider joining us. That way you can share your screenshots and things that you'd like to build in the game, and talk about other games, or just have some general chat. And I appreciate everyone taking the time out of their day to watch this video. Take care of yourselves, stay safe out there, and I hope to see you again soon in the next one. Bye-bye.